Hello and welcome to my Valentine's date night look. So before I started I applied the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer and the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. Next I'm going to use the La Touche Magique Concealer from L'Oreal, which I'm going to do in a slight triangular shape but mostly concentrating on the sort of eye socket area, as that edge is kind of quite dark on my skin, so I like to brighten it up. Then for extra punch I'm going to use the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, which is a bit heavier and works really well on that inner corner of the eye area that gets quite dark on me and a lot of people. So I'm going to then apply that and tap that in with fingers, and then I'm going to apply it to any other areas that I want a little bit more brightness or anti-redness. So that's forehead, side of the nose, bridge of the nose and on my chin. Next I'm going to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in the original formula, which will work as a lovely base and help to hold my eyeshadow in place, as I'm going to use a loose powder pigment, which is the Armani Eyes to Kill eyeshadow in the colour Champagne. This is a really gorgeous glittery pink champagne colour, which is really sparkly, and so I'm going to apply it first with my fingertips and blend it in. I haven't quite finished there, but I'll come back to those eyelids later. Then underneath my eyebrow I'm going to apply my MAC Vanilla Pigment for a highlight shade, and again this is a softer sort of shimmer sheen and looks really pretty when blended in down to the eyeshadow. And I'm going to apply that to the outer 2/3 of my under eyebrow area. Next I'm going to apply my MAC eyeshadow in the shade Grain on top of the Armani pigment. This just takes the glittery tone of that pigment down a little bit and makes the eyeshadow a little bit more subtle, which I think looks really pretty for this sort of soft date night look. Now to add a gorgeous feminine feline flick to my eyes, I'm going to use my favourite eyeliner, which is my Japanese one, which is from Lia Nani. It's such a fantastic product, but you can buy it here in the UK, but you need to buy it online, I think through Amazon. I'll put a link in the description bar. So first of all I'm going to really hug the edge of my lash line. This is the most important bit really for me with the eyeliner. First you need to establish that it's as close to that lash line as possible, and then I'm going to build it up to more of a flick, a bit more of a dramatic 60s eyeliner look. So once I've done that, I've just shown you that you can do a little dot, which is sort of the end point of the flick, and then you can draw inwards from that point, which is one way of kind of accurately doing a flick or a 45-degree flick angle. So that's one way of doing it, so I thought I'd just show you that on one eye. And I always find that when you're doing a flick eyeliner that it's best to work from the outside in to your eye rather than outwards from your eye. I find that way it's a more reliable technique, and also you generally end up with a better, sharper point to the edge of your flick, which always looks much better than a thick one. Next for eyebrows I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in the shade Saddle with an angled brush from MAC. I'm just going to do small little strokes, filling in and just tidying up my eyebrows basically and making them as even as possible. They don't need much definition as they are pretty dark, but I just like to make them as symmetrical as possible while using the powder. I find this a really good way to define and neaten up your eyebrows, as the powder is quite subtle and you can build it up slowly, and once you've applied it, if you have put too much on, you can remove it fairly easily. Then to tidy them up even more, I'm going to use my Brow Drama mascara from Maybelline. Again, this is just going to help comb through the brows and set them into place. Next for a quick eyelash curl with my Shiseido eyelash curlers. This really helps open up the eye and make those lashes curly and beautiful and fluttery, which is perfect for date nights. Okay, next on to mascara. I'm going to use my Rimmel Day to Night mascara, which is a new product to me in the last couple of months, and I really like it. It does take a bit of perseverance with sort of combing through as it's quite thick, but it's got this clever 2-brush system. So the first one is the volumizing one, and then you can pull out a thinner, more comb-like brush, which is great for lengthening your eyelashes. So I use the volumizing one, which is basically the 2 brushes together, and then you take out the lengthening one second. Next, for a bit of setting powder, I'm going to use my DHC Q10 translucent powder onto a fluffy eyeshadow brush from MAC, and I'm going to use that anywhere where I've put the concealer and anywhere that I tend to get shine, which is sort of the centre of my face. Next I'm going to apply my DHC Double Protection Mascara to my lower lashes only, which is a really great, long-lasting, non-transferring mascara. Then on my cheeks I'm going to use a cream blush, which is the NARS Matte Multiple Cheek and Lip product in the shade Anguilla. This product really makes you look like you're blushing from within, which is perfect for a date night or Valentine's look. Next, for a bit of definition, I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Finish Powder in the shade Medium Dark, and I'm going to apply a fluffy brush from Bobbi Brown to do this, and I'm going to apply this underneath my cheekbones so that I get a little bit of slight contouring and a bit of colour to my face. This is such an easy way to lightly contour your face, but in a natural way. Then I'm going to set the cream blush with a powder blush, and I'm going to use the MAC powder blush in the shade Fleur Power with a Real Techniques blush brush, which I'm going to apply and then smooth out the edges and blend in with a clean blusher brush from Bobbi Brown. For lips, I'm going to use a new lipstick, which is the Maybelline Colour Stay lipstick in the shade 157, which is appropriately called More to Adore. This is a beautiful rosy pink lipstick, which is so delicate and so easy to wear, and I think it's beautiful for a date night look as it wears off very nicely if you eat or if you're going to be kissing someone, and I think it's a really lovely, feminine, pretty pink which matches up with the eyes and the cheeks. Lastly, for a finishing touch, I'm going to use my Becca Skin Perfector in the shade Opal, and I'm going to use a fan brush and apply this in a C shape on the tops of the cheeks and up to the eyebrow bone. And that's it, that is the finished look. This is my soft rosy pink Valentine's date night look, and I hope you really like it, with those soft pink rosy cheeks, lips and eyes. Please subscribe if you want to keep in touch with all the latest from Dressing Room Diaries.